Tonight we will walk through a quick signal for Amazon.com stock and recap the possible placement of the stock in the overall modified wave theory. Hello everyone, I am the stock signaler, and I have built multiple algorithms and set up backtesters to determine likelihoods of future movement over the next 10, 25, 50, and so on trading frames. Tonight's signal is my MACD over traded algorithm. Current signal is on the daily chart and bearish in this instance. There are 242 previously studied occurrences. Here is our signal overview table. Signal has a 95% success rate over the next 10 and 25 trading days. Something else that I noticed during my studies is what I call a signal delay. Sometimes a trading signal occurs, however the signaled movement may not occur right away. Most algorithms are reversal indicators, however some are continued impulsive movement where the stock will continue to move in the direction it has been moving up to the point of the signal. In this current case, the maximum delay for a 10-day success signal has been 8 days. That means even though we get a signal on day 0, we can continue to move against the signal. So right now we're looking at a bearish signal. We can actually continue to move upward for 8 days, yet still manage to reverse down in those final 2 days and reach a success. We will take a look at the chart for this, and it's going to load us into the 10-day window. All right, so we had our signal here on 17 January when the closing price reached 151.71. In order for this bearish signal to be successful, we must drop below $151.71 for the stock sometime before the 31st of January. As you can see so far, all we've done is move upward. Our red boxes on top are the delay area. 100% of all delays are the larger red box. The smaller red box contains 50% of all historical delays. To the bottom side is our target area. 100% of all successful hits have occurred with the low in that larger green box, and 50% of them have actually bottomed out in that smaller green box. Now what's interesting here is the first thing, we've actually already exceeded 100% of all historical delays that later became successes. So based on that alone, it's totally possible the stock does not trade down into our green zone. Additionally, when I was talking about the 8 days earlier, so this is day 0 when the signal happened, so day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We are 6 days so far, and all we've done is move up. We could technically reach a top by day 8 and then still come back down into the green zone, but that fast of movement is not so likely. I'm also going to take a look really quick at what the 25-day period looks like. So even if the 10-day is not successful, the 25 has a much higher chance of coming back down because there's just so many more days to play with and simply reach that green zone. Now in this instance, we can also see we've already surpassed the common delays that later become successes over a 25-day period. So one of two things could happen here. We could end up back in the green zone. If that occurs, our actual red delay, that larger 100% box, will receive a new high at whatever our highest point was here. So looks like 158.51 could be where the top of this red box could show in the future. Now what does this look like back on our chart? So what I did here is I plotted a yellow and a green box on our trading view charts. The yellow is our 10-day target. Success is up here at this yellow dashed line. All we have to do is drop below that line. Our 10-day window in that 50% box is what I have highlighted as our yellow box. And then our larger green box, this is our most likely target if we can achieve it within 25 trading days. So that gives us until the 22nd of February, which is plenty of time to make this happen. However, this market keeps moving up. Tech is moving up. Everything's moving up. Now, one of the questions I have discussed with some of my subscribers in some of the rooms that I hang out in is, even though the market has reached new highs, is the economy and the market actually in a stronger or better place than it was in January of 2022? Because that's the last time we actually had a market high. I think we're up to like 65% of folks are saying that's not the case. Things don't appear to be better even though the market is higher. That is a red flag. Now, one of the other things I work on, trade with, and discuss and study is Elliott wave theory. Now for this, I'm going to go out to a weekly chart and just kind of map out where we've come from. Now most of the market began its downward movement around here, 3 January. I think it was actually 4 January. However, tech and a lot of the NASDAQ stocks, they peaked either last year in the July timeframe, or a lot of them peaked in November and December. Amazon was one of those that peaked early. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to plot my 5 waves down. So basically, I believe we are in a corrective wave, so which would be made up of A, B, C. So A wave has 5 waves in it. Then we have B that moves up, and it has 3 waves in it. And then we'll do 5 more waves to the downside to finish wave C. And I'm just going to map this out how I normally would. So typically I look for 5 simple waves, which I don't necessarily have here. I have a, I'm just going to mark. I have a 1 down, I have a 2 up, and then 3 is a mess in here somewhere. I'm going to mark it down here. Then we jump up for a 4, and then wave 5 is also the same as our endpoint for A. So what I normally do is I just kind of tuck my 5 away, and I use A in place of it. Now, is this wave 1 and this wave 2, or is wave 1 over here somewhere and wave 2 up here? What I have created is a couple things. I have other indicators down here at the bottom, and my most well-known one is my wave 3 indicator. If you can find wave 3, you can pretty much map out the rest of all of your wave activity. Now, what I have for wave 3, it's this indicator down here that paints a kind of like a light blue background when we're at a reversal point on the top, and then it has a kind of darker magenta background when we're reaching a reversal point at the downside. This generally coincides with the end of wave 2, 3, 4, and B. Most frequently, I use it to identify wave 3. Now, the other thing that it does, so if you see here, it's pretty large and in charge here around the 9th of May, that week thereof. This most likely is where wave 3 occurred on the way down. However, there's also a signal previously before that. What also tends to happen is wave 3 inside of wave 3 also cues a signal. So in this case, wave 3 of 3 is probably in here somewhere. Most likely this could be it, or this could be it right here. And then we went up for a second, then we came back down to finish our wave 3. And then we have a 3-wave structure to complete 4, which looks pretty clean there. And then we have 5 waves down, which also looks pretty clean. As far as where are we in the beginning, right? Is this wave 1, or is wave 1 this thing over here? And the reason that I placed wave 1 where I did, for 2 reasons. Wave 2 almost went back and all the way to the top, so it did almost 100% retracement. And I had this other wave 3 signal here, most likely indicating this is wave 3 inside of wave 3. So that's what I believe wave A did. Now wave B, this one has been tricky and it's been catching me off guard. Amazon's a little clearer, however the S&P 500 has actually moved up and retraced all of its movement from where this thing began, so it has not been as clean. Let me change some of my coloring real quick. We're going to kind of do the same thing now. B wave, like I said, it's made up of 3 waves. Inside of those waves, we call them A, B, and C. So this is what I think the layout is for Amazon. Wave A was 5 waves, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wave B was 3 waves down, 1, 2, and 3. And then right now we're in some sort of 5-wave structure to finish out our C wave. I'm going to mark these one more time as we kind of go in here, just to really try to figure out where we're at. And then I always correct these on a smaller scale. And we just kind of change the colors so we can see them later and they stand out. A, B, C. Tuck my wave C away. And then I'm not going to worry about 5 at the moment. So the other thing that sticks out here is our wave 3 indicator. Not sure where to place my end of wave A. It could be here, it could be here. What most likely happened based on my indicators down here in the bottom is the final one is your wave 3. So wave 3 happened somewhere around here. Oh, the peak is at this point. And then you also have a signal with a gap right here around 10 July. That most likely is the end of wave 3 of 3. So once again, this indicator kind of helps me orient myself in where we're at. Now, I've zoomed in on the daily chart, and I kind of just get a little bit better idea on where things are. The problem is the wave 3 indicator is going to show up in different places on different charts, so you kind of have to use all of your time frames. TradingView does a great job of allowing you to place things on your chart, and then they're there when you zoom into other charts of different magnification. So in this case, here's that wave 3 I was talking about, and looks like here's my wave 3 of 3 signal. So if 1, 2, 3 is somewhere in here, this is probably 3 of 3 of 3. This is probably the end of wave 3 here, 4 1 over here, something, or over here, and then the final wave 3 ended at this point. So we'll call that our wave A. Wave B, this one looks a lot cleaner. It's probably placed properly. So the big question is wave C. So putting all this together. Wave C, which in this case it'll be my white C's, they need to be comprised of a 5-wave structure. So I'm just going to generally plot some 5 waves here, and then we'll try to fix them as we go. And we'll make this one green to further stand out. Now, on the daily chart, I've got some wave 3 signals over here. So what is this? It could be, it's kind of too early for it to be the wave 3. However, it could be a wave 3. On some occasions, we actually do get signals that are for like wave 1 or wave 5. Normally, it's at the end of some large jump up, which is what we saw here. So this final signal is most likely the wave 1 signal. So wherever the high is in this case, looks like it's at this point. Wave 2 was quickly after it, and then wave 3 was pretty short. So I'm not sure if this is 3 or this is 3 here. We're going to take a look at that in a second. Yeah, so this looks good. Let's zoom on into an hourly and see if we have any more signal indicators to help us. All right, so here's a big one here. The largest wave 3 signal, quite massive, is this one right here. This could be a wave 3 of 3, or this could be wave 3. Now, this one's large, but we actually have an even larger, higher hill here. So this could be 3 of 3, and this could be 3. Or assume 3 and 4 were laid out properly, and this could be our wave 3 inside of wave 5, which is also possible. This one's actually kind of hard to tell. If we say that this is 3 inside of our final 5, then wave 1 was very short, wave 2 came down. Or this can also be wave 1, although I really don't like that setup. We will plot out our final 5-wave structure here. So if we call him 1, 2, forgot to chart it, 1, 2, 3, could be this big one here, 4, and then 5. In our case, will be wrapped up with a B. So once again, I'm going to kind of hide our wave 5, plot this out, pick a color we haven't used yet. All right. So this one's still kind of hard to tell. Probably going to take a couple days. Now, if our signal that we got, our 95% signal for a MACD over traded, is true, then we should top out here and move downward. Now the problem with our downward move is how low will we go? All we have to do is break this yellow dashed line. If we go from where we are today and go down there, that's at least $5. That's quite a bit, and that's also going to alter our wave structure in a very odd way. What makes this interesting is it could actually move our waves this way. This could actually be the final top. Our top for Amazon could be occurring within days. And I'm only saying that because of where we are going to go, or where we have to go next. So if we come off of 4, we finish our 5, we're going to go down in some capacity. Now, we have our 5 waves here, and as we come down, I don't think we're going to hit this yellow box, we would almost have to top out by tomorrow, maybe Monday at the latest, and that still gives us a few more days to finish out our 10. The larger picture that I've been monitoring, and is the most interesting piece of this, is if we did do our ABC. Where are we going? Well, I think we're going to go all the way down to this area. Now, this is still pretty drastic, especially for such a short time frame, but I think we're on a reminiscent scale of the 2000 to 2009 correction. Wave A, I think it went 2 or 3 years. It was like March of 2000 down to March of 2003 or October, maybe it was October 2002. And then for like the next 5 years, we traded up to around July of 07. And in that instance, B also went above the original all-time high back in 2000. But then we dropped sharply. And we dropped over the course of, I think it was like 16 months or something, which is in comparison to the 3-year, 5-year, and then 16-month wave C was quite a sharp drop. If that sharp drop occurs here, it could be done before the end of the year. Commonly, C may do a retrace down here into the 123 level, maybe a 138.2. I think that one's even further, but if we can give up 100 points over the next 9 months, what's another 16? So this is the path that I'm looking at and monitoring. All of this right now is based off of the bearish signal. Will it even occur? And if it occurs, will the rest of this fall in place? So I take my one signal and take all my ideas and theories and kind of push them all together and see what could the overall large picture look like. And this is the thought process for now. But the only thing that matters in our current case is, will we come back down and hit these boxes? And that's what we'll find out over the next couple weeks. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll continue to publish more videos. Thank you.